should I just say some words? Right, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I won't keep you long, and I'd like also to welcome you and congratulate Andy and Nicola on their marriage. And like everybody else has said, it's about time too. So just be aware that I'm making this speech under a considerable handicap because I'm still sober and I've run out of Drambuie. So if anybody wants to go and get me one, that'd be great. On behalf of the bridesmaids, I'd like to thank Andy for his kind words. It's amazing what people will say when they're under oath. I think everybody will agree that the bridesmaids look lovely, as we've already discussed. And I can say, Nicola, you look stunning. No, you can't eat that, that's me. Alright, well, round of applause there for these guys. So I must point out that you've married someone who is handsome, witty, intelligent, charming, good looking. Mate, I'm struggling to read your writing here. It really has been a pleasure for me to be a part of your big day. And I'd like to thank Andy for asking me to do the job. I'd also like to thank Nicola for allowing Andy to ask me in the first place. So for the people that don't know me, I'm Mark. I'm Andy's best and longest serving friend. We all had hair once. We first met at nursery, nearly 40 years ago. Now, if you don't believe me, if you don't believe me,
You're jumping now.
So I'm on this photograph, Andy's on this photograph, Jennifer's on this photograph, and my mum, who couldn't be here today, she's on the photograph as well. Now what I'd like to happen, if it's at all possible, if we could, I've got a pen with me, if you could just write a little good wish message on the back. I'll have it lying around, so please either come up and see me or just feel free. I'll leave the pen with it, and yes, it will go on your wall. Right, so it's there. So it's there. All right. So, all right. I'll be able to point out where you're at. So the groom, to get it right, the groom is there. That's Andy. All right.
Does he get here?
He has. It's a lovely sight. And where am I? And I'm there. Not changed a bit, I don't think. There's Jennifer. Wait to find her, where is she? There's Jennifer there.
Can I just say David's in it as well?
Is David in it as well?
Watching in the corner.
Is this
See
David?
that sad face?
David, oh, nothing changes, my friend. Nothing changes.
You look like Lucky.
And my mum's there. Alright, so there we go. I would really appreciate it. I've got a pen, so just a little note on the back would be fantastic. That'll give them a nice little memento. Alright, so you know, over the years, Andy and myself have been through a lot together, and I'm sure I can see some of you in the room today. But now, oh, somebody got that. So, there's a chuckle from this end of the room. I'm disgusted with that.
See you later.
Oh, steady on next side. DL. Is your husband on the room?
Yeah.
No. At any point, cut in. Now, as I mentioned, it's a great honour to be the best man. With the role comes the role of the job comes the writing of the speech. And to be honest, I wanted to make the process as simple as I possibly could. So the obvious place to start would be the internet. So with a multitude of resources, off I went onto the internet. And after a couple of hours searching, I found some really good stuff there. But then I remembered I was supposed to be thinking about a best man speech. So best man speeches usually include a lot of funny stories about the groom's childhood and stuff like that. However, I can't remember what happened last week, never mind what happened last century, but I'll give it a go. But there aren't so many stories I can tell you, or that I dare repeat for fear of incriminating myself. So, looking at him now, you may not believe this, but Andy was not a pretty baby. In fact, I've been told that Jennifer didn't start having morning sickness till after he was born. And he was the only baby in Glasgow to have shutters on his pram. Oh dear. As kids we used to enjoy, we used to enjoy anything we could find for transport. We weren't quite old enough for carjacking. Sorry, Jennifer. I was only joking now. But one Christmas Eve, aged about 23-ish. I'm not joking, 23-ish. We were on our way back from the Barras after purchasing some very exclusive gifts for our family. So then we came back and we come across some wheelie bins. And yeah, we did have them back in the day, so it wasn't that long ago. But we bought a couple of these plastic swords, right? Now, I'm sure we bought them as presents for our brothers, but we...
Yes, yes.
Did I? I can't remember. But we decided to try them out using the bins as chariots. So we're pushing each other up and down this hill outside my mum's house, waving these swords around like William Wallace. It must have been a right picture, but it does put a new spin on taking the bins out. So you may not, you obviously know that Andy and myself have been heavily involved in swimming over the years, and it's with it being Olympic year this year, I thought it was only right to reference that in my speech. And as we all know, there's five rings in the Olympic symbol, but there's also 5 rings that represent a marriage. So the engagement ring, the wedding ring, the suffering, the torturing, and the enduring. It's true though. As well as writing a speech, my other duties as best man for today were getting Andy here on time. That's exactly what I thought, we got him here on time. Making sure he stayed sober, that's not bad. And that he was looking his best. Well, in the words of the song, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Andy has been the best friend that anyone could ask for. There's nothing that I wouldn't do for him, and I know that there's nothing he would do for me. In fact, we spend our lives doing nothing for each other. except maybe if it's to do with a computer, and his expert knowledge has helped me out all the time. So, Nicola, you're feeling that funny, apprehensive way. Are you?
Don't know.
Don't know. It's probably because you've just married Andy. So I'm sorry, it's too late now, you're still with me. No refunds, no credit notes, and definitely no exchanges. And I know that's what you wanted. You wanted a simple wedding, and that's what you've got, starting with a groom. It's funny how history repeats itself though. It seems like only yesterday where Jimmy and Lorna were putting Nicola to bed with a dummy. Now she's waking up with one. In all seriousness though, I'm convinced that Andy and Nicola are right for each other. And I think it's wonderful that they've decided to spend the rest of their lives together with 3 happy and healthy lads. Who knows what the future might bring? Maybe a girl or 2, even the numbers up. But I know that they're going to have a bright and happy future together as the years roll on, and it's a great family affair. So well done. I'm almost finished. Just a bit of advice to Andy here: never be sexist. The birds hate that. And I'd like to thank everybody for making this a very special day. And to give my own thought on today, I'd just like to say the person we marry shouldn't just be the person that we live with for the rest of our lives. The person we marry should be the person we just can't live without. So there's just one little bit left. There's a man who'd drink to absolutely anything. I'd be grateful if you could give me an excuse to raise my glass one more time and be upstanding in toast to the new Mr. and Mrs. Jackson. Andy and Nicola. Thanks very much. Thanks very much.
Brilliant.